Political piss take. You guys kick ass. I know I already said that on your channel. I already made that comment, but damn. I liked your responses. You hit on a lot of really good points. And you use 60s music, man. The guys, you use 60s rock. We don't hear, well, okay, yeah, I know they use it on the radio all the time, but it's always just commercial stuff. It's just nice hearing that. I may be more into stuff like jungle and chill out and stuff, but I got my Hendrix CDs too, so damn. All right, enough gushing. Let me get out that way. You guys deserve a dignified response. You had a lot of good points, so much that I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it all into a 10-minute video. I mean, you guys put 2 videos up, 2 over 9-minute ones. If I have to make 2, I will, but I'll try to address your points. One thing, thanks for pointing out about how, you know, the acceptance of homosexuality has actually had its up and down periods in society. I was mostly thinking in terms of America's world, and I forgot that. I mean, throughout the world, over different time periods, it's always been either in a rise or a fall, depending on, you know, in terms of its acceptance. Japan has had its ups and downs of acceptance. Even like, hell, even countries like Germany, you'd be surprised before Nazism took over, how much acceptance it was for that. So it just goes to show you how much America has, how much catching up this country has to do. Now, I noticed the rest of your 2 videos was mostly on the nature of your generation's apathy and how much how many of them are just don't care, or are just too much into entertainment to really care about making a change. But unless I'm wrong, I think the 3 main points you guys came up with is, 1, your generation really doesn't look like it's in shape to do anything to change things because they're too caught up in entertainment and stuff like that. 2, oh my god, my mind just blanked out. Second point is that as far as, alright, now I remember the second point. The main second point is, 2, that your generation really hasn't made that much of a lasting impact on things, and unless something major happens, they probably won't get a chance to. And 3, the internet pretty much was already bought and sold and paid for before it even had a chance to take off, and corporations and governments already got her hooks into it, so what the hell is the point of trying to grab what we don't have? I'm assuming those are your 3 main points, because that's what I got out of it. If I'm wrong, correct me. If I'm right, but you still want to add some more points, feel free, because, again, I like your points, really interesting points. About the first one, about the apatheticness, yeah, that's true. I mean, and it seems to be every generation. I really like how you've also talked more about how the baby boomers, you had your fake hippies, and then you had the real ones who to this day are still living that life, still trying to change things, and they're a minority. You always have that in generations, especially when there's some type of real movement in a generation to try to change things. You got the few hardcore types that are really all about it, and then you have the other guys who, oh, this is cool, so let me get on board. Every generation and every movement has that. I mean, let's take hip-hop. You had a few people in hip-hop, by the way, if you hear screaming, they're watching TV. You had, like hip-hop, you had the people down there who were really about the 4 elements. DJing, graffiti, rapping, and dancing. And you find some old cats and certain young cats to this day still about those 4 elements, and they really are about it being true. And then you got the other guys who just got on board because it's cool, and then later on they went to some other fad. Or worse, the guys who went in there because all they care about is making money. Which brings up an important point. You guys brought up grunge, you guys brought up emo, you guys brought out like punk, and all these older movements, music movements. And you said that they lasted for a little while, but yet these generations can never seem to make something lasting that holds. The reason why is not necessarily the artist's fault or the people who started the movement's fault. The reason for this is because of the wannabe idiots, the weekend hippies or the weekend rockers or the weekend rappers. The guys who are into it like, oh, this is cool. And they don't give 2 shits about what it was really about or why it was started. Hip-hop isn't, well, rap, I should say, is infested with this shit. And the record companies, the corporations, the people with the money who originally were the enemy, because in the beginning, hip-hop was against record companies. Hip-hop was against selling out. Hip-hop was against everything being about money. Just listen to the old songs. I don't have to prove it. Just look it up. Old rock and roll, same thing. Old jazz music, same thing. It was always against the establishment in some way. But then the establishment comes along and says, hey, you know, you can make money off this. And then the suckers are like, oh, really? I can? Because, again, the wannabes, the only reason why they went into this was for material gain and for looking cool anyway. And then when they find out, oh, I can get money? And sometimes even the guys who started the movement, half the reason why they started is because they were pissed off they didn't have any money, because the establishment had it all. Then, oh, I can make money. And boom, it gets sold out. Every generation goes through this. Everyone. Every movement that you can think of. It was all about, well, you know, everything you're fighting for, you know, if you just be our puppet, we'll give it to you. Notice what I said at the end of my response. Are you guys going to fall for the okie doke again, or are you going to do something different? Now, I did not say that this generation is going to do something different. I asked the question. I have my own opinion. Whatever they're watching sounds mad funny. I have my own opinion. But I'm not going to say what my opinion is, because it's not up to me what you guys do. I mean, I can help, and I definitely want to help to change things. That's part of the reason why I do these videos. And why I talk to my friends in a certain way, and why I let people know, no, it's not this, you should check this out, you should read this. I'm trying to do my part, but ultimately it's what is going to be done. I don't know what's going to be done. I got my suspicions of what's going to happen, but ultimately it's up to you guys. Man, I harp so much on that one point. I guess I kind of touched on both your things, one that about the apatheticness and also about the lasting impression. Well, mostly in the lasting impression. I didn't talk about the apatheticness too much. It is true, so many people in your generation and in my generation before that was just caught up on who's got the sexiest pants. What the hell is going on with Britney Spears this week? Entertainment. Human beings have always been more interested in fluff than substance throughout history. Don't let history teachers and literary teachers and whatever fools you. A friend of mine, he even had pointed out that all the people who are complaining about all the garbage that's on the net don't seem to realize that the past hasn't come up with some good shit either. Like, when we think of past literature, we only think about the stuff that has stood the test of time. There was a lot of shit that was printed out back then. Anybody who's actually taking a literary course, who's researched some of these old books, will tell you. I got a guy sitting in the living room right now, he told me that there was a lot of stuff that's pretty akin to the garbage pulp stuff that we got right now. We got bad movies today. They used to have bad books and bad scrolls and bad tablets back then. Because humans is humans is humans. We're a stupid lot. What do you want? Now the question is there going to be enough motivation with the intelligent lot to do something? That's my question. I mean, the idiots, all you can really do, you can't really change their minds. All you can do is kick them into a certain direction and hope that maybe a few of them wake up and others just simply follow along. But even then, it's really up to the highly motivated, intelligent people to really get things going and hope that people wake up just enough to see it and get motivated, just enough to get up off the couch and maybe do something before falling back down. It's, I know, a depressing thing to say, but that's the history of humanity. You need masses of people to get things done, but masses have always shown a lack of intelligence. How many Einsteins do we have in the world? How many Socrateses do we have in the world? It's few. Granted, that doesn't mean that we're doomed to stay this way. Part of the reason why humanity is like this is because this is the way the powers that be want this to be. If you're ruling a whole group of people and you want to stay on top, do you really want a whole bunch of smart motherfuckers below you? Because one of them sooner or later is going to be like, get the fuck out of here, you've outlived your usefulness. You keep them stupid and thinking that they need you, that means you'll stay on top longer. Now, you can question the morality of it, and I already know what I think about it. I think it sucks. But that's the nature of leadership. The longer you want to stay on top, the more you got to keep everyone below you stupid. Taoism and stuff talks about this all the time. The true leader is the one who's willing to step down. But we don't have people who are willing to step down, and this is why the population remains stupid. Part of it is people's fault for falling for it, but also part of it is just the way we're raised. People in this country, and hell, in many parts of the world, are simply not raised to have working minds, because it would work against the system. Now, for those who want to change the system, my question to you is, do you think it's a hopeless cause? I personally don't think it's hopeless, and you're probably thinking the odds are against you. They probably are. Does it mean that the fight is not worth fighting for? It's up to you guys to tell me. I already made my decision. And then the point about the net already being completely controlled. Major parts of it are, at this point, yeah. But there's still certain parts that they haven't gotten full grasps on yet. They can't seem to do a damn thing about BitTorrent yet. They tried to, I'm just talking on the piracy issue, but there are many different other things. Oh, man, I'm running out of time. I don't think I need to put up another vid just to talk about the internet thing, but all I will say is that there are certain things that have not been snatched up yet. That should leave a hole for something. If you want me to expand on that more, I will. But I'm running out of time, so catch you guys later. And again, thanks for the response.